Yeah, I can.
Okay. So you can make that work. So if someone turns something into a hobnob, you generally can save it.
Yeah. I go and I just regrind everything.
Yeah.
I mean, it plugs up the wheel and stuff, but it clears itself out, and then we patch everything, and we just go over it.
So someone gets carried away and makes a mistake, call you anyways, because generally you can fix it.
Yeah, I can fix it.
Welcome back to the Just Build Baby Studio. You're listening to the BuildX Podcast, your ultimate guide to creating exceptional homes, innovative living spaces, and staying informed on all aspects of residential building technology. I'm your host, Buz Artiano. Today we're excited to have Dave Forquette here in studio. Dave is the owner of Smart Start Foundation Waterproofing with 10 years of experience in the industry. Welcome, David.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Yeah, excited to have you here. So I like to always start out my guests with just talk about how you got in the industry. So take us back somewhere, not from the day you were born, but probably just before you got introduced to this industry and how you got started in it.
Actually, I got started, a friend of mine who is in the foundation business. It's John McGinn, Southeastern Foundation, and I work on his equipment and stuff. And he had been mentioning to me that I should get into the waterproofing business because all of his customers are looking for people to waterproof their foundation, and they don't know of anybody, and he didn't really have anybody he could recommend.
Right, and that's how we got introduced.
Yes, exactly. And,
shout out.
Yeah, and I kind of blew it off the first time, and then he mentioned it a few months later, and then I'm like, you know what, let me look into it. And that's how I got started, thanks to him.
Okay, and so this is a system that you bought, a dealership. What is it?
I didn't know anything about it when he had first mentioned it to me. I mean, I knew about you had to waterproof your foundation. Sure. I mean, thinking you go to Home Depot, grab a 5-gallon bucket of that tar, and you go out there and you roll it, and you make a mess, and you ruin your clothes, and you know what I mean? And then you get it inspected and you backfill it. That's about as much as I knew about it at the time.
Yeah.
And then as I looked into it, I found that there was a better advanced way of doing it. And the more I looked into it, I got interested in it, and I decided to go that route. And I bought a truck, built a truck, bought the equipment, and I reached out to Tremco Barrier Solutions.
Yeah.
And I got set up with them and buying the material, and I had to meet a certain criteria, and I had to do some on-the-job training. They had to send a guy out to certify me. I mean, I knew nothing about it at the time, zero. Yeah. And I remember just going out there and snapping the lines and scraping the foundation and blowing it off and spraying for my first time. Did a horrible job. Won't mention which customer that was. I mean, and from there on, every job I did, I just, obviously you try to do a better job as you go on. And then I noticed there was another thing, like I watched other guys doing it. They would spray right over the ties.
Yeah, I know. It's
all
awful.
The nubs.
Before you get to that though, so just to be clear, so you're a trained Tremco installer for their product?
Oh yes, yeah, I had to get certified because they back me up. Like every job I do, we have to submit all the information, and they issue the warranty. So they honor, like this, basically saying, hey, this guy is certified to do this job. Okay. So he's supposed to know what he's doing.
Right, so it's important for people to understand the difference. So this is much different than someone just taking some 5-gallon buckets and rolling it on their foundation. This is a engineered system that's installed by yourself, and you're certified by the company, and then they're issuing a warranty for the product.
Yes, they're backing up my work and their product as long as I apply it correctly and follow their criteria.
Right, okay, good. So now you're certified, and you're noticing other people doing what?
I noticed other people, like when I would pull into a house development, there would be other companies, people from other companies in there working, and I'm looking at them and I'm like, they don't care.
Yeah, spraying it black.
Just spraying everything, and the concrete, loose stuff's falling off, and I'm like, when they backfill this, the dirt's going to pull that away, and now the foundation's going to be compromised, exposed. So I look at it and I'm like, well, I don't see anybody grinding or prepping the walls, removing the wood, removing the cardboard, removing all the loose stuff, filling all the imperfections, none of that. They just spray it, see you later, I'm gone. And I said, you know what, I want to take it to the next level. And then I started grinding all, I cup the wall in, and then we blow it all out, and then we patch all the holes. And we scrape everything, scrape the footings off, clean everything. If it's wet, we got a huge propane torch. We dry everything off. Remove all the cardboard, all the wood. Because the forms, they leave like wood and
there's always stuff.
Cardboard. It sticks to the
bandings and all kinds of crap. Right?
Always, especially with guys that use the older forms.
Yeah, the old block
It leaves
forms.
a lot more debris on the wall than the newer ones.
Yeah.
So sometimes you got to spend a little more time. So I started grinding the walls, and then after a few jobs, I realized that you're not supposed to release that dust into the air, the silica. So I went out and I bought a whole system. It's a HEPA vac and a HEPA system that hooks up to the grinder.
Yep.
So now that silica doesn't get in the air because it causes that, whatever that disease, silicosis, and you can't, it's non-reversible.
Correct.
So I went out, I made the initial investment, I bought all the equipment to do the job the way that I want to do it. And nobody else does it the way I do. And the reason I know that is because when I'm doing a job, I'll turn around and a guy will be standing over me and he'll be asking me, what are you doing? And I tell him, he's like, I never seen anybody grind a wall. I said, well, you're not gonna, because it takes too much time and people aren't gonna do it. They're not gonna do it. Nobody does it the way that I do it. And I know that because when I pull into like a housing project, and there's another company in there, they'll come over. We talk to each other. I mean, it is what it is. We all get up in the morning, put our boots on, go to work to make a living. I don't care. You know what I mean? I can't do all the foundations in the world. They'll come over and they'll be like, what are you doing? I explain to them. They're like, wow, I've never seen that before. And they're like, wow, that is a good idea. Because it's all the concrete is all loose around the pins, even after you break them off.
Yeah.
So if you spray that, and then once you backfill the foundation and it settles, it pulls it away. Now you are exposed. And that's just a steel pin going through that 10-inch wall.
Yeah, that's where all the leaks start.
And then after 4 or 5 years, that pin rots because it's steel. Now you could take a pencil and put it right through the wall. You have a leak.
Yep.
And it's really bad if you got a finished basement. Because now
you got nothing but mold and everything else.
And then you get the insurance companies involved, and we all know how they are.
Yeah.
They give you half of what they should. They fight you the whole way, and then when you're done, they cancel you.
Well, we just had an episode about that, so make sure you tune in to watch it.
Yeah, I know how they operate. It's horrible.
All right, so now you're set up, you're a certified installer. Tell me about where did the name come from your company? How did you decide on the name of the company? Where did that come from?
Actually, I'll have to take credit for that. I came up with that name, and I mentioned it to a bunch of people, and they actually told me it was foolish. And I'm like, why is it foolish? Number one, it's the first thing you do when you're building a house. You put the foundation in. So I figured by calling me right in the beginning, it's smart, because now I'm going to save you a lot of aggravation down the road, because I deal with people that have spent $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 fixing leaks in their foundation, ripping their whole basement out. Say they had a mother-in-law apartment down there. They had to move out of the house for months. They got, like you said, mold, and then they get everything ripped out. They fight with the insurance company. They come in, they fix everything.
Well, then they still have to fix the leak, though, too, so they got to go outside and dig up the foundation.
No, they can't do it outside at that point. Now what they do is they inject it.
Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. But it usually, you can inject it. It works. But it's an additional cost.
Yeah.
And it's like
so
after the fact.
Yeah. So, again, it's better to do it the right way the first time.
Absolutely. And the way that I do it is we grind, we prep everything, We blow it all off, we snap the lines, and we patch all the holes, and then we apply 2 coats of Tough and Dry Extreme XT Quick Cure. It's the only thing I use. I don't use anything else. I don't use the cheap brand. I got the best of the best. It's it's Tough and Dry by Tremco Barrier Solutions. There's nothing better on the market in my eyes. I started out in the beginning with just a regular Watchdog, which is a brand from this company.
From Tremco, yeah.
But it's a lower. And I just didn't feel comfortable with it, so I just went. I mean, I'm not saying it's a bad product.
I understand.
But I just wanted to use.
You wanted the best stuff.
The best. And that's.
So you spray 2 coats. Do you go side to side 1 coat and then go up and down 1 coat?
It all depends. Sometimes I'll go side to side. Sometimes I'll go up and down. I mean, depending on.
Okay, so it doesn't matter on the second coat.
As long as you get, as long as you get at least 30 mil coverage on each coat, because you're supposed to have 60 mil when you're done. Okay. I always have more than that. Right. Like I'll be in housing developments, and guys from other companies will come up to me and they say, "Listen, if I put that much waterproofing on the wall, I'd get fired." So, like, my first coat is more than their finished job.
No, and I've been very impressed with the foundations you've done for it, and I thank you for that.
I appreciate that.
Thank you for doing a good job, and it definitely, and again, that's why I'm having you on the podcast, so people can understand when I say to them, listen, we use, this system, this is what it is, this is why we do it, and this is the reason for it.
Yeah.
That's why we do what we do.
And I don't think people really understand how important it is, because it's really not something you see every day.
It's buried
it's
and
just,
it's over.
It's a hidden advantage.
Correct.
And they only know, or they only think about it
when it fails.
When something goes wrong.
Correct.
When they got a leak, and now all of a sudden it's like, holy hell.
So let's talk about this product. So it's a rubberized coating is what it is?
It's a water-based soluble membrane. I don't know if I explain it.
Yeah.
I don't know the
proper
terminology.
It's a rubber membrane that's water-based.
All I know is that it's serious, and once it's on, you're not getting it off.
I know that.
I've had to take it off for one job one time. The guy gave me the wrong measurements, and the only way I'd get it off is I had to go out there and sandblast it off. Literally sandblast it off.
Because it was showing.
No, we did an area that he wasn't supposed to do it. It was his fault. And I had to go out there and sand. It was actually on an elevator shaft.
Oh, okay.
And it was. He told me to waterproof the inside of it, but I was supposed to waterproof the outside of it. And I had to go there and sandblast that off the inside.
Nice. And that must have been fun.
It was fun. It was fun. Doesn't like to come off. So.
No. And so the advantage of this product, obviously, is if you do get a crack in the concrete, it's going to expand and contract.
I'm actually glad you brought that up. If you take 2 cement blocks and you put them together, and you take an 8-inch round clear cylinder, pipe, tube, and you fill it up 10 feet tall, and you put it right over the crack, like you put the 2 blocks together, and you got the seam in the middle, and I waterproof the surface, and then you take this cylinder like a cup,
got it,
and you go right over the crack. So the crack is right down the middle, and you fill this 8-inch cylinder 10 feet tall with water. When this dries, it takes about 8 hours. I can take those 2 cement blocks, take a screwdriver, stick it on each side, and spread those 2 cement blocks 3/8 of an inch, and that water will not, hydraulic pressure will not penetrate that crack. So it has 10 feet of hydraulic pressure over a 3/8 gap.
Wow.
And that waterproofing, put on correctly, will stop that from penetrating your wall.
Wow.
That's a lot. Not many people can claim that.
No, that's good. Yeah, and that's important for people to realize because, and I say to all my customers, listen, no matter what you do, you're going to get some hairline cracks in the concrete.
All foundations crack.
100%. And we don't, and you can't always guarantee where either. Even, because over the years I've tried different, put the control, put some grounds in to try
joints,
try to get it to crack there, and it cracks where it wants to crack, right?
People don't understand. When you make concrete, you watch them make it. What are they putting in it? Sand, concrete, stone, and water. Well, the water evaporates.
Right.
But the water is still taking up space, so when it evaporates, it shrinks. The foundation is cracking because it's shrinking, not because it's expanding. It's shrinking.
Correct.
and that's how you end up with those hairline cracks.
Right. But with your product, we don't need to worry about that because it's going to bridge that gap.
Well, it'd be very rare that you would have a problem with it.
Yeah. So let's talk about the warranty for your product, how it works. You mentioned that the manufacturer is behind the product. So how does that work? What does that look like?
When we do a foundation, again, I believe it comes with a 10-year warranty just on the basic waterproofing. But if we do the drainage insulation protection board,
We're going to get there. Let's talk about
right.
basic spray. So what's
10,
10
I
years
believe
on
it's
that?
10 years, yes.
Okay. And that's from Tremco, not from you.
It's from Tremco, but if there's a problem, they
Yeah, I
notify
understand,
me,
but I'm
and
just
I
saying-
go out and I fix it if there's a problem.
Right. Okay. Now, so that's just a basic spray. You do your prep. You do your prep, the clean, the grind, the patch. And
Blow it off.
Yeah, 2 coats. That's the basic job. So now,
Yeah.
what are the next upgrades that are available to us?
You can do, a lot of people will put perimeter drain around the bottom of the foundation where they tie their gutters in and stuff, and then they get the water off of the foundation, which is the best.
Yeah.
Then
So
they,
you're doing that product as well? You're doing the drainage?
I can, but I don't do it that much. Usually the contractor does
Okay.
it. I've worked with multiple contractors. I'll come in and I'll do the insulation drainage protection board.
So what is that product?
It's like a fiberglass, special fiberglass. It sheets. It allows you put it against the wall while we're doing the waterproofing, so it sticks to the wall.
Okay.
It adheres to the wall.
So it's wet when you put this on?
Oh yeah, and
So it sticks to it?
it's there.
Okay.
It doesn't come off. We do it on the last coat.
Right.
I do the first coat, let it harden up for about an hour. Then I do
Yeah.
the second coat.
Stick it
we
on.
cut all the sheets. We
Pre-cut
fit
'em, yeah.
Yep. So it fits nice, all the corners and everything. We offset the seams so the seams don't line up, and then we put the second coat on and we adhere it to that.
And that's an insulation / drainage
It's an
board.
insulation.
And a drainage board.
It's a drainage board. What it does, it doesn't allow the water, the hydraulic pressure to build up against the foundation.
Sure.
Lets it go down into your drainage,
Right.
so that the water will travel down against the wall, get into your drainage, and then be discarded from the site.
Okay. Now, one of the things that I asked you
And
to
when
say-
you do that, one
Yeah.
last thing, Buzz.
Yeah,
When
yeah.
you do that, when you do the drainage board with the waterproofing, they bump the warranty up to, I believe it's 20 years.
Wow, okay. Plus you pick up some R factor there as
Yeah,
well.
you got I think it's R7 or R10, and it makes a difference because I've been in houses in the same housing development that had it and that didn't have it, and it makes a big difference in the basement.
100%. I have it in my house, and it's made a huge difference.
It does.
It was before I knew you.
Yeah.
Actually, it was before you were even doing this. It was 14 years ago. So don't blame me for that one.
Well, let's slide.
So now we have our basement. It's waterproofed. We've added our drainage board, and that's the end of your what your business does, correct?
Yes. We just do the waterproofing and then the
And
insulation.
or drainage board if we want
they
it.
want it, yes. I've worked with them. I've come back to jobs while they were backfilling and made sure that everything went right. And very rare, but I have come back and worked with the contractors.
Yeah, so, one of the things that, I really appreciate you as a businessman and as a craftsman, like that we just finished that foundation in Freetown.
Yep.
Now, I've had a lot of guys do waterproofing for me over the years, spray, even going back to the old 5-gallon days where it was just, feel-good moment when you're putting on
They
some...
don't even call that waterproofing. That's damp proofing.
I understand that, but that's all that's required in the code, right? And so that's just a feel-good moment. You're putting basically, driveway sealer on the wall and calling it damp proofing, right? So that's where I started back in the early 80s using that stuff, right? Before they probably didn't even make spray materials back then.
I don't think they did.
Right. And so, but I put a lot of precast bulkheads, and I've never had anybody offer to come back and spray that connection.
Oh, yeah, I did that for you. Well, then
You did. And I was very impressed by that. I want to tell you that.
Well, I appreciate your business.
Yeah, but I understand that. But I've always thought about that in the back of my head. And you said to Tom, hey, we're going to come spray this. And I was like, wow, that's pretty cool.
Well, the other half of the coin is I didn't want to have a leak, and then you blame me for it
I
after.
understand, but I'm letting you know as one craftsman to another.
I appreciate
that follow through and your attention to detail. Now, the other thing that I've asked you to start doing is spraying the footing.
Yes.
And that's something I think you only do for me or you do for other people?
Yeah, well, I usually do the top of the footing and I'll come down like 1 inch.
Yeah.
But you're the only builder that's asked me to spray the whole footing.
Right.
I mean, it's what you want, it's what you get.
I understand. I appreciate your flexibility. But my theory is if we're spraying the concrete, let's spray all the concrete. Okay?
Sometimes a little more work because I got to dig out and clean that off.
I understand that, but to me, if we're going to spray it, let's spray it. Right?
I agree.
You know, now I know everything's treated, you know, because I have had water come in footings. Now, that doesn't always just come in the wall. I've had it come in footings. So, I mean, I've built a lot of stuff. I've seen a lot of crazy things. So, it's just interesting. And I know when Tom or whoever that was speaking here, I mean, it was probably Kevin.
It was Kevin at the time.
Yeah. So, but no, I appreciate your flexibility. It's funny. I went to the very first one you did for us, and I think it was 44 Bartlett Road. Maybe not the first one, but
Plymouth or something.
Yeah, and actually Stevie was there, a holer with me, and I said, "Come on, let's go look at this." And I like how you put your business card in the corner in the wet mix. No, I do that. I like that.
Yeah, I stuck it to the wall.
Yeah, no, I like that. I said,
that's why I don't have no more business cards.
No, you got to order some more, but. It's when you see little things like that, you're like, okay, this guy cares about his work.
Yeah.
He's proud of what he did. Here's his stamp of, okay, I did this.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I appreciated that.
I didn't think anybody even saw it.
No, I did. I 100% did. I see a lot of things that people don't realize. I'm not as dumb as I look. So, so he and I went around that job, and I took my, pocket knife, and I was stabbing the top of it just to see how thick it was and stuff, and how tough it was. And I took it and I was scraping and I was like, man, this stuff is on here. Like
nobody will put it on thick.
Yeah,
they'll get fired.
Yeah, this is
they
not.
They will. I've had guys tell me.
No, I know, and I appreciate that. And I'm just, I'm re-emphasizing that because, it's one of the things I say to my customer. You're never gonna know that it was done poorly until it fails.
I do every house like it's my own.
Right, and it shows. It shows. 100%
that.
shows. So I just, it's a long way of saying thank you for doing a good job.
Welcome.
So, all right, so now fast forward, so now we're certified, we have different systems we're doing, and, how did you build your business? Was it just word of mouth, or, how do you get your customers?
Actually, I owe everything to John McGinn from Southeast Foundation. He's the one who started, every time he did a foundation, he told the homeowner, he's like, here, this is the guy you want to waterproof your house. And he was doing a lot of foundations for builders out in Easton and different areas. And he actually opened up the door for me.
Okay.
And got my foot in the door. And then once I got in, they see that, he's not just, he gives a half of a...
Yeah. No, it's very, like I said, most people that are non-tradespeople are not going to recognize good work for the most part. They think it looks good, but they don't know why it's good, right? And I've been building a long time, and as soon as I saw your work, I'm like, okay, this guy knows what he's doing. So it's very evident to me that you knew what you were doing from the moment I looked at it.
Appreciate it.
And so that's where you got your start. So John referred you to a bunch of his customers, and then obviously you started working for those builders, and then as John wasn't available, they worked for, it was a different concrete company, and then that builder would just call you to do that foundation.
Yes.
And that's how you built your network.
Yes. Right. I don't, like I said, I don't advertise.
Well, we're going to work on that.
I really do want to work on it because I want to take it to the next level, because my son actually likes doing it.
Yeah.
And he's actually pretty good at it. So,
I've got some
I want to hand this off to him.
Like I said to Chris, we're going to film that. We're going to film you start to finish, and you're going to talk it up, the whole thing. You're going to be mic'd up.
Yep.
And you're going to talk about why you do what you do, and we're going to give you that footage, and you'll be able to cut that up and use that with your social media and on your webpage, and put that on YouTube, and these guys can give you some pointers about what to do with it. And
that'd be good. I appreciate the exposure.
You'll be surprised, and we're going to show you some tricks too, so that AI actually recognizes you as a trusted local expert, and it's not showing your company. So
that'd be good.
We're gonna pump you up. So don't forget us when you're famous.
I never forget. I still got the same friends I went to high school with.
All right, so now we're 10 years into the business, right?
Yeah.
So you started out, same truck, you've upgraded.
I upgraded.
Okay, so we've got a new truck.
Yep.
Yeah, and
logo.
now your son's coming into the business.
Yep.
What's his name?
Nick.
All right, so
Fouquet.
Nick's coming in. How old is he?
19.
Okay, so he's cutting started early.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, good. So he'll be working with you full time pretty soon, you think?
Yeah, he's working with me right now full time back at the shop.
Okay.
Because I do other things other than the waterproofing.
Okay. So you have other businesses you're running?
Yeah, my wife runs a daycare. We have a daycare in Freetown with Omaha Child Care. And then I have DPF Enterprise. I do all fleet maintenance, truck repair. I build trucks, shorten them, stretch them for big companies. I build a lot of trucks for Dartmouth Building Supply, Mid-Cape Lumber, National Lumber.
Right, well, that's episode
Drywall,
2.
masonry down the Cape.
We're going to do episode 2 then on that.
Yeah, I do a lot of shortened trucks, stretch trucks, brand new trucks. They drop them off at the shop. I install cranes and stuff for DC Bates out of Hopedale,
Nice.
Finger cranes, all the hydraulics, plow trucks, sander trucks. I do
right.
it all.
So you're just not a pretty face is what you're saying.
A what?
You're not just a pretty face.
Well, I appreciate that. I don't even know Burt Reynolds.
There you go. So along the way, obviously you've learned some tips and tricks, right? So what if you had to start over again 10 years ago, right? What would you have done differently?
10 years ago?
Yeah, just from where you are today, back up 10 years. If you could go back and say to yourself, "Hey, David, these are the 5 things you should know." What would those 5 things be?
Wow.
This is where it gets interesting.
Yeah, I didn't know this was coming. If I had to do it over again 10 years ago?
Yeah. Well, in this business, if you obviously you learned a lot along the way, right?
Oh, with the waterproofing?
Yeah, in the waterproofing one.
I mean, it's like anything else. I mean, you gotta screw up to
You got to
to
break
improve,
stuff. 100%. You got to break stuff.
and you got to know you screwed up in order to fix it. So, I mean, I probably wouldn't change anything with the.
Okay, so you have.
Maybe I would have.
Well, let me ask you some questions.
Maybe I would have did more advertising. Maybe I would have jumped into that more and started doing less with the truck, the fabrication, and that stuff because it's more hours, longer hours. I mean, I'm down the shop. I get the shop at 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm there till 9, 10 o'clock at night. Whereas with doing the foundations, you can only go from sun up.
You got to go home when
you gotta
go home when the sun goes down.
You can only do it
right?
when it's light out, right? So I probably would have focused more on the waterproofing because I believe that there's a lot of people out there that are not getting the coverage that they need and they deserve.
I agree.
And they only realize they don't have it when they have a problem.
100%.
And then it's a lot of money and a lot of headaches.
Yeah. Well, we're going to film a lot of that content for you, and then it's going to be on you to pump it out there.
I appreciate that.
And it's going to be good stuff for our channel too. So I'm excited about that. And see, so to answer your question earlier, do you have a format you follow? No, I don't. That just popped into my head while I was sitting here, and that's how I operate. So buckle up. All right. So favorite tool you can't live without, and it can't be your truck.
Favorite tool?
Favorite tool you can't live without, and it can't be your truck or your phone.
Tool.
Favorite tool. You've got a favorite tool.
What do you mean, like
It could be anything.
a car? Or
Yeah, it could be a car.
I actually, and to be honest with you, the only thing that brings my, I get to relax and my blood pressure gets to come down is when I go home and get on my Kubota diesel zero-turn lawnmower and I just
There you go.
cut my grass.
There you go. Do you wear headphones or you go just no headphones?
I just
You listen to the lawnmower.
listen to the lawnmower and just cut my grass. It's like the only
Yeah.
peace I get.
Understood. So lawnmower zen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. So that's your favorite tool then? Your lawnmower.
Yeah.
I like that. Industry trends you are noticing in the foundation waterproofing business. You're noticing any industry trends?
Not really. Like, I see a lot of people that try to think they can go to Home Depot and buy that 5-gallon bucket and do it themselves, and then they call me after and they want me to go over it because It wasn't as easy as they
Well, that's a
thought it
good
was.
question. Can you go over that stuff?
Yeah, I can.
Okay. So you can make that work. So if someone turns something into a hobnob,
Yeah.
you generally can save it.
Yeah. I go and I just regrind everything.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it plugs up the wheel and stuff, but it clears itself out, and then we patch everything, and we just go over
All right,
it.
so someone gets carried away and makes a mistake, call you anyways, because generally you can fix it.
Yeah, I can fix it.
Okay, that's good. That's good. That's good content. Dream project you'd love to work on. It doesn't have to be anything with waterproofing.
Well, trying to get my new building up.
Okay.
So we're working on that right now. I just got to wait for the permit. Should have it any day. I'm going to build a new shop.
There you go.
In Freetown.
Yeah. Yeah. Best piece of advice you've ever received?
The longest distance between 2 points is a shortcut.
I like that one. I like that one.
I don't know if I came up with that real quick.
Yeah, you did good. Advice you would give your younger self? I told you this would be fun.
Advice I would give my younger self
Yep.
would probably be to listen to my father more when I was younger,
Yeah.
because he really did know more than I thought he did at the time, but you don't realize it at the time.
Yeah.
It's probably about I don't know.
Okay.
Hope you don't see this.
Favorite food and dessert?
Favorite food, I love chicken ziti, broccoli, dessert, and black raspberry friendly ice cream.
Okay. I like that. Man knows his brand. If you could have dinner with anyone alive or dead, who would it be?
Donald Trump.
There you go. That'd be
That
fun.
guy's awesome.
That'd be fun. If you had $10 million to give away, who would you donate it to? Or what organizations or whatever?
$10 million to give away.
Yeah.
Probably like St. Jude. Kids, help the kids with cancer and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Like a hospital like that. Or the vets. Veterans, people that fought for our country, to help them, recovery and rehab and whatever.
Yeah.
Look into the hallucinogenics and the mushrooms and stuff.
Yeah,
a lot
that's
of guys.
coming on big for
I've
these
been
guys with
watching a lot of
PSD.
those
Yeah,
things.
yeah.
Yeah, I
100%.
would split it up half and half,
Yeah.
because you've got to take care of our vets.
Yeah.
They
That would
put it
actually be a
all
good
on.
episode. I would love to have one of those experts on here and talk
I love
about
Sean Ryan. Sean Ryan's
Yeah.
badass.
Yeah, he's good. Good
He's
stuff.
no joke.
Yeah. Well, that's my goal. I got to work to get,
Yeah,
get
Sean
Sean
Ryan.
on
If
here
you get
on Zoom.
we'll
at
get
least.
Sean here. We'll put him right here. We'll get him in here one day.
We'll
work
squeeze him
up,
in.
Put him in the middle of us and work him up a little bit. See if he can handle it.
I think he can handle us.
Yeah, we'll put him there, Cash Patel,
Yep.
Dan Bongino, and Donald Trump in here.
Man, that's a room.
That's a
That's a
room
room.
full of knowledge.
There you go. All right, well, that's good stuff. Anything we forgot to talk about?
I didn't know any of those questions were coming.
And nobody ever does. That's the whole point. All right, that's a wrap for today's episode of the BuildX Podcast. Take to David from Smart Start Foundation Waterproofing to join us. Please subscribe, like, and share if you've enjoyed it. And see you next week. And remember, David, just build, baby.